What's good, everyone? Welcome back to My First Kicks. This is episode 155, and this week I welcome Zion, aka Overtime Zion, to the podcast. Now, we talk about it on the episode. He is the youngest person I've ever had on the podcast, so it was very cool to hear his perspective because, as you know, sneakers, especially like people who talk about sneakers all the time, mostly is just old heads talking about a time where sneakers were great and all this, including me. Sometimes I'll go back and be like, man, it was a great time back in the day. I could get everything, but I'm all about the future and talking to kids and not saying that Zion's a kid, but talking to kids in general and telling them about sneakers and hopefully them listening to this podcast will give them better insight into what it's like to be part of a community, uh, talk to people about sneakers, like fall in love with a hobby such as like what I'm doing right now. So I hope that this opens up the podcast to a lot of, I want to say, like TikTok age kids who scroll, because a lot of Overtime Kicks content is on TikTok and is formatted in such a way so that it's easy catchable, and they're just trying to grab your attention for as fast as they can and give you some sort of reason to stay on their video. So it was really cool to talk to Zion, see where he started, learn about his family, learn about his involvement with sneakers, learn about so many things about him that we don't get to see in these overtime clips where he's just interviewing people. So it's a really good episode, I think, and just getting a chance to hear his take on what, like, the difference of growing up in sneakers, and also how he gets his community, where his community comes from mostly, and also just how he hustled to get to where he is now, and how his impact into overtime and where it came from and started, and how bad he wanted to be there. All that came from. So super insightful, but I don't mean to basically sum up the episode in the intro. So I hope you guys will listen to it and check it out. And also follow him on all social medias. You can follow him on Twitter or X at Zion Lord 2. Follow him on IG and also TikTok at Overtime Zion. Follow Overtime Kicks. We talk a little bit about Overtime Kicks and how, during the pandemic, me and a couple other people who are on TikTok a lot talking about sneakers, just did not mess with the way they were doing their content. So talk about that. It's not real. Like, I just called it out because it's something that me and Morgan, if you look in the comments, would always go into the comments and be like, "Hey, if you guys need better hosts, let us know. We'll do it." So it is what it is. It's just jokes at the end of the day, and hopefully this doesn't bring any hate, especially if they're listening. I'm sorry, but if you aren't familiar with me, and this is your first time listening, I am Haas. I am the host of this podcast. And for the first time in my 3 years of doing this podcast, I actually did a YouTube video, and it's on YouTube. I highlighted 10 sneaker stories from last year that I felt incorporated the culture, incorporated the community, and brought a sense of camaraderie and things that were missing in the sneaker boom that we recently I want to say recently came out of. So I made a little video about that. It's just me talking. I wanted to add in graphics and stuff like that, but by the time I edited it in 2023, and I had to put it out, but I was still editing it into the beginning of 2024. So I could not just wait anymore. I was just like, we're just gonna put it out. So check that out on the YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the video. It'll probably be suggested to you on the right over here. So please check it out. But yeah, if you want to follow me, I am Who Is Haas on all social medias. Follow the podcast at My First Kicks Pod. Follow the podcast on TikTok at My First Kicks. Follow, subscribe, like, and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. like and subscribe this video. It's very important. And if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please, please, please leave a 5-star review. I mean, if you want to, if you fuck with your boy, hook me up. 5-star review go a long way. And if you have a My First Kick story, we're starting off the new year. I want to get more stories in from all you listeners. If you have a My First Kick story, please send it to me, myfirstkickspod@gmail.com, or send it to me in a DM on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, whatever. Just send me your stories. I would love to read it to a guest on here each week. Been trying to do that since day one. So please, please, please hook your boy up with some stories. Just be a good time. And on to this week's guest, Zion. Hey, Zion, welcome to the podcast.
What's up, man? Thank you for having me, bro.
Nah, no problem. I saw. Well, recently we talked to Shake, so I was like, let me. We might as well.
I saw that. When I saw you interview Shake, I was like, yo, I gotta get him on now. I gotta put him on.
I mean, that was dope. Shake's great, and I mean, I pretty sure we'll talk about your history with Shake, but he talked a little bit about just like, helping community and stuff like that. I was big on that, and I just wanted to have him on. But when I saw him talking about the day ones on your podcast, on your show, on your clip, I was, my bad. I was like, that's dope. You did way better than I did, is what I'm gonna say.
I tried, bro. Yo, I took like maybe 2 days of deep digging. Like there's a lot of like unseen footage. Like we probably have a clip, like we're talking about just history of him and Jam Master Jay and talking about rap and all that. And we spoke about how he would try to give his mixtapes to them. And like he put his phone number in there, he put his name and all, he hoping the phone line gonna be ringing. And like that was one of the craziest things I heard. And he just drove down to LA, got in the music video. So he was rocking. He knew what he was doing for real.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, you touched on that a little bit on my episode too. I mean, I think you were able to get a lot more out of him than me, because I think he was a little bit apprehensive towards me in terms of just like, I started off real bad in the beginning. Yeah. And this is where me and you also have a little interaction. I mentioned the Knicks with him, and he was like, and I said, because I was watching the game, and I was like, oh yeah, we losing bad, but I'm saying we as in like me and the Knicks. I didn't say like me, Shake, and the Knicks. It was like,
yeah, I'm always bashing Shake about the Bucks, bro. Always, every chance I get, every chance. When he came to the studio, I'm like, bro, the Knicks are going to do it to you tonight. And then they lost. And then the next game against the Pacers, I was like, bro, he might give you 50. And then I texted him Pacers in 6.
Yeah.
And then it was just like he tries to talk about my Clippers and everything, But we about to be on an 8-game win streak. Like I feel good.
As Melo said, you guys are a super team on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. So I mean,
we're locked in.
Yeah, for sure. But for my listeners, if they aren't familiar with you, how about you introduce yourself?
My name's Zion. People online know me as Overtime Zion. I work for Overtime, represent as Overtime Kicks. Y'all go give us a follow, everything. Subscribe to the newsletter. We give away shoes every week. So, and if any of you be in the area, any sneaker con, you'll see me there everywhere. Dallas, Texas, I'm going to be in Seattle.
There you
go. Back to Jersey in one of them. So we're going to be good.
Nah, yeah, man. I mean, that's super dope. I'm loving the opportunities that you're getting, It's really dope. Well, first of all, because there's on TikTok, I'm in like this little creator community, and they always just talk shit about how Overtime Kicks don't know what they're talking about. But this is before you jumped on. This was like the two dudes.
Overtime Kicks don't know. That's crazy, man. I feel like we do a lot of things, behind the scenes. We do a lot of things. It's not just like we're not a normal like sneaker news type of page. Like we're not going to post releases. We're not going to post drops. But we interact with everybody in every age in the community. We got curated posts. We got original content. We bring people on. We play little games and things. Like it's a little something for everybody on there.
No, yeah, for sure. I think that this was, but what I'm talking about specifically was like 2020. So this is like, and I think that you like it has expanded, and I think you guys are doing, you're crushing it. That's That's why I had to have you on here.
Yeah,
So
shout out to my boys, Thomas and Mikey, for
yeah,
real. They
yeah, for
be
sure.
us three, man. We be just bringing game. We be
Hmm.
uplifting everything.
That's dope, man. But you're here to answer the question that I ask everybody each week, and that question is, "What's your first kicks? What's that first pair of sneakers you absolutely needed to have?"
First pair of shoes I needed to have.
Hmm.
So I think with that answer, I'll go with like the first pair of shoes I ever bought. With my
Okay.
own real money.
Yeah, yeah.
So that one is like I bought the white cement threes, the reimagined ones. I had
Hmm.
moved out and everything. And I was like, let me spend a little bit. Let me celebrate. I'm out the crib now. I got freedom. I can do what
Uh-huh.
I want. So I
Yeah.
went out and bought the threes, the reimagined, like a little 350 or something at the time. I was
Hmm.
like, ooh, I like him though. I like him. I said, ooh, but I really like him. So I knew I needed to have him. I kept those, still wear them.
Hmm.
And just from there, I'll be buying shoes still, like every couple weeks. I
Yeah. I
tried to hit
mean,
on the Cactus Max today, and I didn't.
I don't know.
So
I don't. I that whole marketing thing with them, I kind of just took me out of it. To be honest, I'll be honest. The whole Zoom
yeah, it's a
thing.
great PR stunt. I love it.
It didn't make because like I thought it would be interesting if not too many people like shitted on it when it first happened. And I was already like, yeah, I guess it's a marketing stunt, whatever. But for me, it was like, all right, they just flipped the check and now they're making it like they're beefing. And I think the beefing part of it was cool, right? Like that back to back, like, oh, I'm
Yeah, it
back.
was sick.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
I
Uh,
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Listen, if you're the demographic, I'm happy for you if you got
It was cool. It was
them.
cool.
And but yeah, I mean, it's wild. We reimagined threes are a shoe I wanted when they dropped, and I couldn't get them because as a size 13, they are extremely just like.
Yo, I wanted them bad too when they dropped. I know my mom, my brother,
Hmm.
we were all on sneakers trying to get them everybody. And then I know I didn't hit my mom, and my brother didn't hit, but
Hmm.
my mom hit in one of them, and like she hit in his size. So I was like, dang, like not me. I guess it's his turn. I gotta wait another time. But I always kept telling myself, like, one day I'm gonna get a real banger, and like, I'm gonna feel good. I'm gonna feel really good.
So this was like your first job, or were you like have you worked before?
I could say like this is a real big boy job.
Yeah, yeah, that's
I'd
big.
say like
I
that's
know
my
what you're
real
talking
first
about.
big boy job. But like, I've done a lot of like, ambassador representation,
Hmm.
modeling, things like that in the past. Like I've modeled for Overtime before I even worked for them.
Hmm.
And just being in just like it was originally just being in fashion and then moving towards more sneaker related. And then just from there, like I started just pursuing more and more sneakers, and then I had gotten an internship through the summer,
Hmm.
and then it just went on to being full time at that point. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just rock with this.
I mean, that's sick. I mean, first of all, you are the youngest person I've had on this podcast, just so you know. So
21, 21,
yeah, yeah.
crazy.
So, yeah, I usually have like older people on and be like, yeah, in the '80s we would, but it's all.
Yeah.
I love that I get a chance to talk to people of all age brackets that are into sneakers. But what was like high school like for you, and especially because it's more current. Like, what was that like?
Damn, high
Yeah,
school.
yeah,
So for many people that don't know, I graduated in 2020, so I
right,
had the COVID stuff.
yeah, yeah.
My senior year ended in March, really. So I'm chilling. But high school, man, like, yo, my freshman and sophomore year, this is like 2015, 2016.
Hmm.
Yo, the mids, the Jordan 1 mids was in, bro. Everybody had those. And then there was this time, crazy story.
Hmm.
But I know a dude, this was the big Life of Pablo time.
Right.
So I know a dude just like he got the Life of Pablo hoodie, but I
Hmm.
already had the hoodie. So I wore it for like a week and then he got it the next week. So I was like, whoa. And then I had the Yeezy 350s,
Uh-huh.
like when they first dropped. And then he got a pair of 350s the next week, the Beluga. So I was like, yo, this is a little wild right now. But then he had fake shoes. Like his were fake, like real
Oh
fake.
snap! Yeah.
Then a dude in the school, like they didn't have to go this far, but a dude like recorded it, put it on his Instagram, and like was just trying to mess with him and all that, and like for everybody to see. But I don't know. I was like, this dude getting everything I'm getting. What's going on? That's what I was thinking.
So that
I was
was
like,
your
I can't even
first.
wear this no more.
Yeah, for real. That was your first instance of like running into reps and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. People were telling me about looking at the shoe number and the
Hmm.
little tag and everything. I was like, I don't even know how you know all this.
I mean, it's
Yeah, that's
wild.
probably my first encounter with some fakes for real. Like, and I knew, I didn't know if they were fake, but I look back now and it's like the beluga with the orange stripe. It
Hmm.
like didn't stop at the back, like it went all the way around. Because
they
I'm like, yeah, that does make a little sense.
they're like, yo, Kanye got a little lazy on this pair specifically.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah,
the but that's wild because especially in 2020, like that was the rise of like rep talk. I think people were just going crazy on TikTok with reps and
people love buying fake shoes, bro. People love it. And some people know what they're doing, and some people just like disrespect. Yo, what was that sneaker con
hmm
in DC? And there was a dude there, and I asked him like, "How do you feel about fake shoes?" He was like, "I got them on right now. Some like all white Easy 350s, man, $30." He said, and I was like, "Okay." He was like, "They're just comfortable," and I was like, "Hey, that's how you feel." But he had a little Louis bag on. He opens it, takes out $30,000 cash in front of me. He's like, "Yeah, I'm wearing the fakes, but I'm here to buy the real stuff." And I was like, "Damn, like you got 30,000 cash in your Louis bag right now. Like, what's your plan for today?" And he said, got a budget, got to save. Like, I'm wearing my beaters right now. These are $30. They look real, don't they? And I was like, if I never walked up to you, I would have never really questioned it.
Yeah, it's wild. Well, first of all, he said that if once he said the sneakers are fake, I was already like the Louis bag fake, and then he's pulling
Yeah, you
out.
can see a clip on Overtime Kicks on that, and he says like Timu, $30, let's go. And then he was like, "But the money real though," and then he takes it out, does a little spread and everything.
Oh yeah,
Crazy.
I think I remember seeing it. It's wild. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
wild. I mean, what is it even like walking those floors? Because I've never been to a sneaker con. I've been to the first one that happened here in New York, the first sneaker con, but that was like they had like activations with like Adidas and
Yeah.
I forgot who was there. It was like Snoop Dogg, somebody. It was somebody big that like pulled up to the first sneaker con, and I went to that and it was interesting because that wasn't when it was like the whole floor was just sellers. It was like a mix of like, yo, you can come here and do stuff. And then,
Yeah.
now it's like a majority. It was like mostly just like people selling.
So yeah, like we go to sneaker cons and then Got Souls.
Hmm.
So shout out Amir for sneaker con, Jonathan, Got Soul. They be hooking us up all the time.
Hmm.
But when we go, first thing is like, especially as people trying to make videos and content, yo, it's loud, bro. It's loud.
Yeah.
Like it's like so like I gotta go to the back corner and I be pulling people over, be like, let's record over here. Like it gets really loud in there. It gets like half of the section you really can't record in.
Hmm.
And
That
then like
I understand. I didn't know that until I went to ComplexCon. I was doing content for like filming
yeah,
stuff at
it's
ComplexCon,
loud.
and I'm
It's
like,
really
my camera guy was like, shout out to Foggy. He was like, so much bass in this. There's mad bass. He's just that's not gonna work. There's too much bass. You got to move.
yeah. It's really loud. And then one interesting thing I didn't know, like SneakerCon and Godzilla, they be having a lot of performers come on stage.
Hmm.
And like, but a lot of their performers before they have a big act are the people that like are selling shoes, like vendors. So
Hmm.
I'll see a dude trying to sell me a pair of shoes. 45 minutes later, he up on stage rapping like for 15 minutes. Yo, and I'm thinking like that, like you a rapper now, like that's what's up. But I didn't even notice that, like I didn't even peep that. So that's
Uh-huh.
another thing. But then like the amount of people that stock up on one shoe and one shoe only and try to
Hmm.
sell like 50 of that same shoe in a day, it's crazy. I was in Cleveland when those CPFMs came out, the ones that look like
Hmm.
bike shoes. Yo,
Okay. Yeah.
dude have every size from like 5.5 to 14, at least like 75 on 3 tables standing. And it's like, yo, like that's crazy. That's crazy. Or like the amount of money people spend,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
amount of money people like put into this. Somebody had a table in Cleveland that was like worth almost $200,000 maybe.
Jesus.
And it's all just Yeezy Blinks, Red Octobers,
Uh-huh.
Deftone Dunks,
Mm-hmm.
Heinekens. Like, it was just those four shoes. That's it. But multiple pairs of them. And it was like, yo, it was crazy. It was crazy.
I don't
I
even
could.
know how people just travel with that stuff because
And
it's
these are
like,
like, this is like an old couple, like two
yeah,
old white people. So they just got it. Like, it's like a
they
two hundred
definitely.
thousand down table.
That's crazy. Well, I want to hold a pair of Deftone Dunks. I've only seen them in pictures, and like
Yo,
that's
it's
a
crazy in
yeah,
person.
yeah.
I think I've seen every shoe almost that I've
Mm-hmm.
wanted to ever like hold and see.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love the Air Mags and like I'm over here trying to get a hold on every Travis in my hand and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like so like crazy and like the big red boots and stuff. Like I tried them on and everything too. It's like insane.
Yeah, well, I hope you got them off, unless you're still wearing them now.
Nah, I wanted to buy the black ones, but I just sold on that. I folded. I was like, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna fall into it.
I mean, I didn't like. I thought the shoes were a great marketing stunt, in my opinion. But like to own them, to just have them in the house, like I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
Yeah,
I couldn't. Yeah.
some people use decor and put a bunch of dirt inside and
Hmm.
like just use it as like a flower like a
Yeah,
flower pot.
flower pot. I've seen that.
It's
I've seen.
disgusting.
Well, there's that dude on TikTok who buys a bunch of them and he turns them into
Oh
Sonic
yeah, that
shoes.
one's crazy.
Yeah, that was a crazy. He did that Knuckles one. I was like, all right, you
Yeah, that
kind of
was,
you got me on that one. that
but I've seen a lot of kicks at SneakerCon and Got Soul. So next one we gonna be at is probably January 20th. Got
hmm
Soul. It's actually back here at home.
Yeah,
They call it Got Soul New York, but it's gonna be in
yeah,
Jersey.
Jersey. I think I might pull
Yeah,
up to that one. We,
it's gonna
we
be at
might
Sea
have to link up.
Conference. So yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be over there. We're gonna try to give away some shoes, everything. I'm very happy we don't have to take a flight anywhere. So,
um, I mean, not many people know, but like, or do they do know, but like your family is definitely in sneakers, right? So
yeah,
like, so
sneakers, sneakers since I was born.
yeah,
Really,
exactly. So like, what was that like? Like, were you just was your mom hooking you up with just heat in the beginning? Were you just always rocking heat? Like, where does your appreciation for sneakers come from?
I think my appreciation from sneakers comes from really like like the work you got to put behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, the meaning of a shoe is like how much did I really work for this?
Mm-hmm.
When I got my first car, I was blessed to be like gifted and everything, but I put in mad time and everything,
Mm-hmm.
like to be able to get this car. So that car resembles like a lot. So like when I see my first pair of sneakers from like 5 to 10 years old, like my mom worked hard, bro, worked her ass off. So I like applaud her every time, and I look at those shoes like, yo, this is a lot of work. So it's like very grateful, very appreciative. It was like, I'm gonna wear my shoes. She don't really wear her shoes. She put them all in a box and things. But like when she get me a pair of shoes, every time like I make sure I wear them and use them. Like I don't let things try to go to waste like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I felt growing up, really, like getting all these shoes. It was really just like a big thank you and like, yo, like I can't let this shoe get beat up. I can't let this shoe get stolen or nothing. Like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
she put her like blood, sweat, and tears into this shoe, so I gotta make sure it's worth it. That's how I felt every time.
Man, I mean, that's beautiful. Like, I don't, I don't know. I feel like you are one of the few kids that would get like several pairs a year. Like I mean, I could just be making that up. I mean, you can
Yeah,
tell
there
me I'm wrong.
was some heat. I had some heat, bro. In elementary school, I had heat. I can't disregard that. I'm very thankful, very appreciative. She really worked hard, did a lot of
Hmm.
things, kicks on fire, and, etc. in her life. But, yo,
Hmm.
she got me heat. I had some playoff eights, some great fives, Olympic sevens. I had bread fours, military blues at a time. Like,
Hmm.
yo, they're like today, I wish I still had those shoes.
Right.
I really do.
I think
But she
that
had me in heat for real.
yeah, that's fire. I mean, you're talking to somebody who's getting Payless sneakers for most of his life, so I don't know if you know what Payless is, but
Do I do? I do because there's been a time, bro. Like like every child, I've been in a spoiled phase,
Mhm,
and there's been times I've gotten in trouble, in school or at home, and I gotta
mhm,
understand like I can't take this for granted. So there's been a time I got in trouble in school, blah blah blah, and I had to just she took my shoes, my good shoes. So I had to wear some Payless sneakers, some baggy Dickie jeans, a nice little big old sweater, Like I can't take that
Uh,
stuff for granted. Can't be messing up at school because I want to be talking about my shoes all day or showing off and everything like that. So, there's been moments like that I've gotten in trouble for, at that young age. So
I mean, what have you gotten in trouble for? Where you were like, oh no, I ain't gonna get, I ain't gonna get,
yeah,
I'm not gonna have to
just
give a
like
shoes.
it was either like don't take away my video game or don't take away my shoes, and I had to
Yeah.
really pick and decide. But I was a kid, man. I was like 10. Everybody got those little times.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, do you like during that time when you're like wearing stuff into school? Like, were you getting stopped, and were you like, "Oh, wait, this is," or were you getting? Was it that moment that you recognized that, or was it just like, "Okay, this is my mom." Hard work that put me into like these things in perspective, or was it that moment where like a kid stopped you and that put you in that perspective?
Like to know about how big my mom was.
No, no, no. To know how
Or
big the
just
sneakers.
talk about
Like,
people stopping and talking about sneakers, man. Like at that young age, I really didn't even know what I was wearing either.
hmm
So like, I just put the shoe on. Like I didn't. I never knew how big and like great of a shoe the military blue was
hmm
until like the military blacks dropped.
hmm
Especially, but when I first got those blues, like I was really young, so I just thought they were nice colors, a nice looking
Yeah.
shoe. I knew it was a Jordan 4, and that's all
hmm
I knew. Or like the Olympic sevens, and I thought Michael Jordan, and I thought Olympic rings. Like this means something cool
Yeah.
and things. So like me and my friends and things didn't really know much about sneaker culture and things. Yo, I was wearing Supras. Like I loved that. Used to be my favorite shoe. Like I would rather get a pair of. You could ask my mom, bro. I would rather get a pair of Supras than get a pair of Jordans or like some Stefan Janowskis because I be skateboarding
I'm
all the time at that age.
I'm a Janowski guy, bro.
Yes, bro. Like I was really on that wave. I was on
hmm
that wave for a bit.
That was. Would you consider that wave the Lupe wave, or is that like was
Oh
that the
yeah,
Wayne? Was that the Wayne wave? Because
it's
like,
both, bro. Because
yeah.
I used to be blasting Wayne in my headphones, and then Lupe
hmm
Fiasco, like Show Goes On was on repeat. Listen
hmm
to like a lot of Problem and everything. Like, yo, I was a Cali head, bro. I was a Cali head. Like I was skating everywhere.
You're out there rocking the supers, the sky tops, like
Yeah, yeah, bro. I did. That was
that
my
that.
stuff.
Nah, yeah, that shoe. I mean, I made a video about that shoe too, because like a lot of people, I to me that shoe was big to me because of Chad Muska, but like not many people know who Chad Muska is, but they do know who Wayne and Lupe are, and
Hmm.
you know the. But it was like everybody was trying to dress like Chad Muska at one point, and
Yeah.
that's how it came to
I
like
was
that.
just big on like my favorite skaters. I was huge on like Nija. I
Naja,
was huge
yeah,
on
bro.
P Rod, yo,
hmm
and like Rob Dyrdek, bro. Those three, like, yo, those three, that was it. I was locked in on them, bro. Some DCs I always wanted, some
Uh-huh.
Born and Reckless or Young and Reckless, like
Rugged
all of that.
Restless.
And then we got Nigel Houston getting some SBs and like, yo,
hmm
like that was yo, those three guys growing up was like my childhood.
That's crazy. I did because like Nija during that time, that's when he just started winning a ton of SLSs like back to back to back, and that Mountain Dew joint too, right? That was during
Yeah.
that time, and
And I know P Rod, bro. I love P
yeah,
Rod
P
always.
Rod's amazing, man.
And
Like
then I used to
he,
just always watch Deerdeck's Fantasy Factory
I
with
was gonna
Robin
say
Hood.
like
That was
yeah, I was
it.
gonna
That was it.
yeah. That I mean that dude, yo, I don't even know how he became a millionaire off of DC shoes, but he freaking figured it out, man.
Yeah,
And
that's lit.
that Robin Big and like him running MTV at basically at one point was just
Yeah, that was all I was
ridiculousness.
watching.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's just wild that the the whole skate because like I'm big into skate culture. Like I love skating and I just could never get on a board. That's my thing, right?
Hmm.
I was the dude that was watching all the videos. Like you can tell me I could tell you every single trick, but I couldn't even kick push at this point. So
That's
oh
crazy.
that's what got me into SBs because like I was trying to learn how to skate, but like I was watching skateboard stuff for a while, and then when I learned that Nike had its own skate division, I was like, oh, I'm all in. I'm copping everything, and it just grew from there. But the I don't know if you ever got to see like young Nigel, like he was like 8 years old doing a kickflip with the dreads to the floor and stuff.
Nah, I
Bro,
never
it's
see that.
so crazy, bro. He would pull up to X Games and people be like, "What is he doing?" And he's like, "Yo, this is like the prodigy. He's like 6 years old. It's crazy, bro. you gotta
That's
watch,
crazy.
you gotta watch videos, man.
That's crazy.
But like, since you said you jumped on the Janoski the trend, like, did you ever cop like Vans? Like, I feel
Yeah,
like
big
Vans,
Vans guy,
yeah.
big Converse guy,
Hmm.
Snowskis and everything. I grew up in California, so
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm in Los Angeles, bro. Like that's all I'm wearing. All I'm wearing some Vans, some ones,
Uh huh.
some SBs, some Janoskis. Like I was good. That's all I needed. I was
The
set.
Were you able to even like? I know that you're basically in sneaker culture now, right? So like, were you able to like witness the differences in sneaker culture as you're growing up?
Yeah, bro. I see a big difference. Like back then, nobody really cared.
Hmm.
But then now, when people start caring, we want to bring the shoes from back then. Like I'm big on just like leaving them there, leave them in the past. We'll make a new pair or something.
Yeah,
But
that.
like we want to bring those old shoes, and like they was like $180 at the time, 150, and now you want to sell them for like 40,000 or something. Like I can't do that.
Mhm.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, the idea. I mean, you've seen and touched a lot of rare stuff, so it's just like back then, a lot of the stuff that that we're seeing regularly now, like like the Freddy Kruegers and the stuff like that, that stuff that's going for like 20K, the what the dunks, like all that stuff was a lot of hearsay. Like you until you had some notable person with the shoes in hand show you a picture on a forum, then you'd be like, all right, this shoe is real. Like
Yeah,
the
like I held some Paris Dunks, and I was like, yo, holding like 50 something $1,000 in my hand. That's really what it is.
yeah.
I'm like, damn, like
But
it's so crazy that that's what it is in my hand.
yeah, does it? What is it? Like, how does that translate it to you? Like, does it make sense to you when you?
Yeah, I would never spend that amount of money.
No,
Never.
no, no. But I mean, like, like when you hold something like that in your hand, but are you like, you're telling me this is 50,000 because you're telling me
Yeah,
this is
because I
50,000?
usually look at the shoe, I look at the person, and then back of the shoe, and then I look back and I'd be like, "You spent 50,000 on these? Like, yo, like that's a decent car, That's a decent car, or something
Mhm.
like you could pay rent for a whole year, or like, like I would never spend that much money on a shoe, never.
All right, y'all. I'm jumping in here to talk about Magic Mind. As a frequent user of Magic Mind, it has been helping me stay focused in my new job and also continue to push out content for you all, such as my convo with Zion this week. You can see that I'm alert and asking great questions, and I attribute that to Magic Mind. It has my favorite ingredient, matcha, which contains compounds called catechins that helps extend the benefits of caffeine in your body. And of course, you can't forget the ashwagandha that helps me deal with the stress and anxiety of everyday life. Now, Magic Mind is a simple shot you take to start your mornings, which you can also pair with a normal cup of coffee. But I usually just drink the shot by itself and then I'm off to the races. So, gone are the days of sipping coffee throughout the day and it getting cold, or even being too caffeinated before bed and not being able to sleep. This is why I recommend Magic Mind to all my friends. Ever since I added this little bottle to my mornings has been such a game changer and it continues to give me energy throughout the day without the crashing. And I know we all hate that 4 p.m. crash in the middle of the day. So, if you want to join your boy in starting your mornings with Magic Mind, visit magicmind.com/JanKickPod and make sure you use this specific link because when you input my code KickPod20 and subscribe for 3 months, you get one whole month free. Also, If you aren't looking for a 3 month supply, you can use my code KickPod20 at checkout for 20% off your first purchase. But if you are serious about hitting these January goals like we all are, visit magicmind.com/JanKickPod and use my code KickPod20 to get an extra 20% off your purchase. And note, this is only just for January. So you gotta hurry before it's gone. I don't know how people do it. Like, I mean,
it would take a lot. Like it'd have to be a super super special occasion. Like I'm wearing a shoe, something like at least almost $2,000 or something.
I mean, I don't even. I don't even think I would be able to put on a shoe if that's how much I pay for. Like, unless I'm like,
it'd have to be a 1 day thing only, like a wedding day.
Yeah, it has to be like, and then I'll be able to get my money back immediately after.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna clean them, everything, make them look new. I'm gonna buy them back to them, sell them back.
Be like, listen, they're DS still. Like, I'll leave the bag lace attached.
Yeah,
I'll tuck
the box, everything.
yeah. I tuck the lace bag into the back of the shoe. Then be like at the wedding with the pictures. You see the little
Like,
plastic.
come on, bro. I just got married. We good, bro. Come on, like, do a brother a favor.
Man, there's this one time. So like usually when before it was like a lot different to buy used sneakers. Like now it's just like eBay and eBay Goat, and right. But like on the forums, I always tell this story. So I bought a pair of Purple Pigeons off of somebody, and the dude, I kept trying to get him to come down on the price because he's like, yo, I paid 180. Give me like what I think he's like, I paid 180. I'll sell you them for 180 shipped. And I was just like, I don't know. And then I was just like, did you wear them? And he goes, listen, bro, I wore them on a date at the movie. So I basically wasn't even really in them. I sat down in them and that was it. So the lowest I could do was like 170. I was like, nah, 150. I was like, you wore them, bro. They're used, bro. And he was just like, all right, fine, 150. And I got them for like, I talked them down like $30 just because.
That's funny.
I still got them, man. It's crazy. You can't. That's funny. It doesn't. I wish that could happen more because I know for sure that's not happening on the convention floors. You can't be like, yo, my man. Like you can't haggle anybody down on those floors.
People want the coin flips and everything. I've seen coin flips for $10,000. I've seen in hand cash of a dude buying a table for $112,000. Just like, and I watch it all go down. Not even for content, just for like myself. And I'm like, damn, like you're just taking out a band, another 10 bands, another 10 bands, another 10. And I'm thinking like you still taking them out. Like when you gonna stop? And it's so crazy. It's just like, yo, people with sneakers and money. I always question is like, where's the profit?
Yeah,
and when does it end? When does it end? That's what I think too. If somebody bought out my table at SneakerCon for $150,000, I could walk away. I don't even got to be there no more. You took everything, and I have $150 in my pocket. I could stop everything right there and figure out the next life. We can retire sneakers from right there. Start the next life. Get a house. Put some stocks in. Do job. Like you be good.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, because that's how I'm thinking as well. Because if you just sold the whole table, then that's money for you. That's the $150,000.
It's all cash. It's all cash.
So then it makes me think like you're just taking out loans to buy these expensive sneakers, and I mean that's where it's. And then now you have to pay back the loan, and now you just broke even. So all of this time for nothing.
That's what I'm saying. I don't get it. I don't know where the profit's at.
I mean, you on the floor. You might have to start asking these questions. Be like, hey man, what's that?
The people. I tell people this all the time because I think it's so cool when I'm talking to them, and I'm like, bro, it's really hard. Like if we go out of 10 people, and what's the ratio of yes to no? I'll probably get 3 people to say yes out of 10 people when I ask them like, you want to answer a few questions. And it's either these dudes look like, and they know they're going to go viral because they just look crazy. Like, I'm talking like we're wearing chrome heart jeans, a denim tears top. We're going to have some Travis's on and a little like Amiri hat or something. Like, you're going to go viral. Or it's just like, some people are just weird. Like, I don't know. They think like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, they get scared. Like, bro, it's all opinions. Like, there's no. I tell people there's no right or wrong answer. You don't gotta get scared. So
Yeah.
I've had some really good ones, and then I've had some really just like really bad ones. Like, I've just had to throw away. Like, I probably each time I interview like 40 to 60 people.
Hmm.
One of them I interviewed almost 100 of them, and yo, I'll only get like 15 that are only like usable, and then 10 of them that I can only post.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. It's definitely tough. You're definitely doing a lot of work for a little bit of time, right? A little bit of, I guess, a little bit of
Yeah, I'm
content is
really in
gonna,
these cities for like
yeah.
only 48 hours. That's really
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but that's still, yeah, you're filming like a good majority of the time,
Yeah.
regardless, you know. So like,
I want to start vlogging these trips,
you
man.
gotta, man, you
That's what I'm
gotta.
thinking about. I gotta start vlogging these trips. I be seeing a lot of the same people too now, so they be starting to recognize me, and I'm
Mhm.
recognizing these people too. So it be kind of cool. Like I be seeing this dude, like I be seeing Common Hype. I be
Mhm.
seeing like Kivato Kicks. I be seeing um. I saw the Cool Kicks guy, Kias, or whatever. Yeah, that's his name. And then
Mhm.
there's another dude. Dang. Dang. There's another dude. I don't know his name for real. But it's one of those Puerto Rican guys. They say they based out of there.
Oh, is it not Dracula? That's he's
Nah, nah.
Dominican. But yeah.
But it's like a group of them or something. I know them too,
Mhm.
so they be cool.
Yeah.
But all these guys be coming out and stuff, so it'd be cool to say what's up every time. It was cool.
No, yeah. I mean, if you're doing so much traveling and stuff like that, it would be interesting for to see like your everyday because I think a lot of
Yeah,
people.
it depends on the city. It really does. Because yo, growing up, my mom used to be traveling a lot.
Hmm.
And I was always fine with it. I never really cared. Like I was like, okay, I'll see you when you get home. Like throughout my whole life, every age. So
Hmm.
she used to go to New York when I was still living in LA. I used to beg her, take me to New York, take me to New York. Or she'll go to a different place and things.
Hmm.
So now I do the traveling. And she used to always tell me I'm so tired, I can't do nothing. Yo, I never believed her until I started doing it. Because I went to DC one weekend, 5 days
Hmm.
home, went to Cleveland the next, and I was so exhausted, man. I was so exhausted. And I was like, I can't keep doing this. I can't. And then it was cool or whatever. But then 2 weeks later, I had to go to Dallas. And then I
Hmm.
was like, okay. Then another 2 weeks later, I just got back from Houston. I was like, damn, like, oh my goodness. But now I don't got to go nowhere until like February. So
Hmm.
I'm like really trying to embrace these days,
Yeah.
embrace them all. But traveling, there's good ones and there's bad ones.
Right.
I try to make the best out of all of them, but it really depends on where I'm going. I've been to, since I've been starting it, I was supposed to go to SneakerCon LA, but I
Hmm.
ended up getting COVID, bro. First time
Oof.
ever. Yo, and it was
Damn.
5 days before, so I thought I was gonna get some buzzer beater type of time in, and but it didn't happen. I missed. But
You
I
over here
went to
testing
DC.
yourself like crazy, like swabbing.
Yeah, DC was really cool environment. I saw a lot
Hmm.
of like the architecture. The people were really
Hmm.
interesting and like just the sights and everything. Like I try to take everything into account where I go.
Yeah.
But the bad thing about DC, we kind of booked it bad. We didn't stay there for a night or anything. We went there the morning of and we left there the night of.
Oof. Yeah.
And I'm from Jersey, bro, so it's 4 hours. So I woke
Hmm.
up at like 4, left to Penn Station at 5, took a train that got me there at like 11. We have an hour to
Uh-huh.
kill before it even starts. Then we leave around 6. Our train back isn't until 8. I get
Jeez.
back at like 12. Then I got to bus back to Jersey. I get back home at like 1 a.m. And I've been up since 4 a.m.
Oh my god. I don't even
Right?
know. I don't even know how you did that.
But then the weekend, I had to go to Cleveland. So then I go to Cleveland.
Hmm.
Yo, Cleveland, Ohio, man. That's one of the worst places I've ever been.
That's what I've heard. I've heard. I've never been.
I don't think I'm never gonna go back. Never. Or at least I don't plan on it. But that's one of like the really like there was not really good food because me and my boy Thomas, like
Hmm.
he's the one that produces me all the time.
Hmm.
And we go out, a really good buddy of mine. He does overtime kicks. But like when we go, we like eat. We are at this time we're watching college football, like last time in the rankings and everything.
Hmm.
But there's really no good food in Cleveland. Like nothing. So we ate in the hotel. At least it was a nice hotel. We're on the bar on the 32nd floor.
Mm-hmm.
Come back down to like the 4th at the restaurant, eat something nice, like a good steak and fries. So I'm feeling good. City was trash. Wi-Fi trash. Yo, I take my PlayStation everywhere because I want to play some like at late at night because I
Uh-huh.
land on Fridays at like 6 p.m. I don't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to play a little bit, relax,
Yeah.
relax. I played it. Wi-Fi trash. Can't even do that. Can't. Food, can't really do much about that. Can't go nowhere. I'm stuck in the middle of Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Nightlife trash. So I didn't really do nothing. I ain't do nothing.
Just stuck inside the hotel, just like, all right,
Then we
man.
talk about good times.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas. Dallas was fun. Dallas was like one of the best times I had.
Mm-hmm.
I had a couple boys I went to high school with. They lived in Dallas now. So I hung out with them, got to catch up with everybody. Went to like this Buffalo Wild Wings style place called
Mm-hmm.
Sideshow, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy. It was a crazy amount of people, like huge, like looks like 150-inch like projector screens of basketball
Jeez.
on.
Yeah.
And like I was feeling good. I had a great night and I was
Mm-hmm.
eating good. Like I had a great night with my boys and stuff. Sneaker con the next day. The people in Dallas are lit.
Yeah.
Everybody is lit. Hellcats, Dodge Durango, sneakers this, sneakers that. Food was good. Like I had a great time all around. Had a great time all around. Good flight, like perfect. And Houston was the same, bro. Houston was the
Mm-hmm.
same. Everything was great. So, Texas showed out. I'm supposed to go to San Antonio like first week of February. So
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna see how that one does. But those two showed out definitely.
Nah, yeah. I mean, that's dope. I think being able to travel as much and being like, your age, being able to do that and like getting a taste of the different scenes, seeing
Oh yeah,
how people
definitely at
move.
my
Yeah.
age because I got
Yeah.
free time. I'm
Yeah,
21 with
exactly.
all the time in the world, bro. So I'm like chilling. I'm chilling.
Nah, yeah, because I did Complex Con and it was like I was basically working and then having to come back and work the next day. So
Mhm.
like I flew a red eye in the middle of the night to come back and work at 7 o'clock in the morning the next day. It
Mm.
was it was
That
terrible.
be hitting. That hurts. Yeah, that hurts.
so like you being able to do that and like this is your main thing is absolutely fire. I'm very envious. I don't know if you can see it in my eyes, but
Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like I always tell people I'm very grateful for how I got this job and just like
Mhm,
I put in mad time of work, like just volunteer work, like somebody would text me, they need me here, I'm there. Can you do this? I'm there.
mhm,
And this and that for like 3 something years, not a single dime. And I just wanted to be a part of this,
mhm.
like all that time. And I tell people like, yo, it's hard, bro. It's hard. It's a lot of things that like come with it. It's a lot of things, but it's a lot of great rewards too.
Do
I
you
enjoy a lot of the time at the office. The
yeah.
people are great. Yeah.
Do you think that's like a rare trait nowadays? Like, do you think a lot of people, especially like of your age, are doing things like this where they're investing their personal time into these things instead of just like, I don't know, Fortnite or something? I don't know. I don't know,
Well, I was
2K.
told, bro. First of all, I think I'm great at what I do.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll never talk like when I think about it myself. I'll never talk down on myself,
Hmm.
never. But when people ask me, like, I'll always keep it humble. I always keep it straight and p. Like I tell
Hmm.
people just I work hard and just try to do my job in the best I can.
Hmm.
But I know what I'm capable of.
Right.
I know like I can be great, and I tell my mom every day, like all the time, like I'm gonna be better. Like I tell her that all the time. I'm gonna be better. I
Hmm.
always will be. But she's the goat, bro. I don't know. I don't know. That's hard. That's like numbers I gotta catch.
I
That's
mean,
how. Like,
but I'm talking about like I guess like because I feel you, and I've ever since I started following you, like I've always felt that you are driven, right? And you do have a great example of what you can and can't do as your as we talk about your
mhm.
mom, but like do you think that is harder to find in the current day, or do you think like is
Yeah,
it
probably. I
yeah.
got told I did a podcast, so I watched the podcast with our CEO, our owner Dan.
Mhm,
He did it with somebody talking about how to find their way to work in sports.
mhm,
And then I talked to Dan on his podcast and talking about how I got my job in the overtime. So when he talked to this dude Sam, he was saying like, how you get into the working in sports, people just want to immediately get on the sideline, talk to a player, and then just review statistics.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many avenues to work in sports, bro. Like you gotta just find your outlet in what you're good at.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love basketball and watching and talking about, yo, I play fantasy basketball and all this and that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know nothing about a plus minus, bro.
Me
Nothing.
neither. I don't understand plus minus either,
I'll be
bro.
hooping and you're getting me points. You know? That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Mm-hmm.
But I love basketball. But I know I grew up around sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball and sneakers take such a great, that's a peanut butter jelly sandwich, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like it goes perfectly together. You got people in the league like PJ Tucker who I interviewed him. He said he wore like 8 shoes in one game before.
Yeah.
8, bro. I don't
8.
know what you're doing with 8. But you got like Shea walking through the tunnel and Kuzma. Everybody come with a new fit.
Mm-hmm.
Those two go together perfectly.
Yeah.
NFL, you got custom cleats like these Dion cleats coming back. People like Dak Prescott and Hurts with Jordans every week. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's perfect. You just have to find the right avenue, the right area. Because I know like there's a couple ladies at my job and they love basketball, women's basketball. That's
Mm-hmm.
what they do. They work for our women's basketball page.
Mm-hmm.
Or we got OT7, high school football. Like they'll work and cover all of that. We got boxing, everything. Like you gotta find your area. We got our apparel, like lifestyle basketball hooping shorts, some mesh
Mm-hmm.
shorts. Like people gotta find their lane and not stick with like the general broad. Like you have sports and then a general broad job in sports and then
Mm-hmm.
like other like branches out to there. And you
Yeah.
gotta find like what branch.
No, yeah, totally. I mean, I worked at MLB for a little bit, for a small
Mhm.
stretch. If you see behind me, I have an Emmy for it. I was just my one accolade, but but it's just like, yeah, there's many facets to get into sports. There's also many facets to get into sneakers also. I've had spoken to people such as D Wells, who tells me all about like how it doesn't just stop at just creating the shoe. You have to market the shoe. You have to
Yeah, because my
yeah.
first love, I never wanted to talk about sneakers. I wanted to talk sports.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to do something around sports. Either I go to the league or I'm somehow going to stick around sports forever. And then the sneakers just paired with it. And I found a new love in sneakers. And I was like, yo, like this is even better. Like I could just do all this together.
Yeah. What was your moment where you were like, I'm not going to the league?
Damn, my moment I wasn't going to the league, bro,
Yeah.
it was like, it really was probably my senior year. Because we had the COVID thing, and I tore my
Mhm.
meniscus completely. Like I blew it out, and it was just like
Jesus.
at that moment I was like, yeah, I don't know because I don't even know if I'm going back to school to get senior year tape. Like
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't think so no more. And it's like, can I even go to school next year? Like
Jesus. That sounds
I was at that
painful,
point, I
bro.
was like, it's plan B time. Like we gonna lock in. We gonna lock in something else.
That's wild. I mean, were you nice though? You were crazy? Were you was
Track and
nice?
field, bro. Track and field athlete. I was nice, bro. It was nice. I had things lined up.
What was the school that you was gonna go to then?
I wanted to go to CSUN in California, man.
Hey.
Get a little scholly there. Try to, I ran the hurdles. I was nice, ranked, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew what I was doing.
Damn, bro, that's wild. But I mean, the pivot is important. The pivot is the most important because like some people just take it and they'll take that like realization they're not gonna make it and then just stop right there and then they just don't go anywhere or they'll I don't know if coming back, especially from a torn meniscus or a torn ACL or anything torn, will make you be like, okay, all right, now I've got to do hard. I got to try harder. I got to do this harder, and then you end
Yeah.
up getting even more injured, and
But like
yeah.
the thing is though, I'm a firm believer in this, and it's crazy. I think people like when it comes to injuries like that, I think some people really have that dog in them. Like that's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some people really have that dog and come back differently than others. And I think in that moment I had that in me, bro. I tore my whole meniscus and I was back ready by like I tore it in September. I was back 100% by January.
That's
And that's
wild.
No, I felt perfect. I was jumping, box jumps, sprints, everything. I felt 100% in my left knee by that time. There's some people that just got like in that moment. Some people got that dog in them, and I know it, and
I
that's the truth.
I tore my meniscus also playing ball but I was I was playing ball in a corporate league. I used to work at Comedy Central, so we had a corporate league, and I tore my meniscus in it. And the team ended up winning the championship without me, so we got to play at the Garden, and I came back just like I was just like with the knee brace with mad KT tape around my
It's
knee, like
hilarious.
I'm playing on the Garden floor. I don't know when's the next time I'm gonna get this chance. I'm playing on the Garden floor, and I wasn't bowling. I think I got fouled, and I missed my my free throws because I didn't know, like I've never played on a see-through backboard. I'm so used to just flat backboards,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, this is right here. And then as you shoot it, I'm like, nah, this is mad far.
Hmm.
I mean, it's wild. I don't know how people play on NBA court, but I guess it's a after you play after a while, it's easier. But I scored 0 points, but I still got to play at the Garden floor.
Oh yeah, you good. Good. Little Tony Snell action.
Yeah,
Little that. Yeah.
definitely Tony Snell. I was
Yeah.
I was doing absolutely nothing, bro. Yo, Zion, thank you for jumping on. But I also have one more question to ask you. I mean, this one's funny because you just it deals with you thinking about the moment where you're about to buy these sneakers. So I want you to go back and think about the time where you about to open the box for the reimagined threes, right? Because
Yeah.
that's the shoe that's the shoe you're about to get. Now you're you, which is maybe like 3 or 4 years ahead
Yeah.
behind yourself. What would you tell your younger self?
Dang. What would I tell my younger self like 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah.
How old was I? I was like 16, 15. Okay, okay. What was I doing at 16? Damn, that's like sophomore year in chemistry class. Okay, well, I tell myself probably like, okay, yeah, just like yo, like there's gonna be moments where like you gonna realize, damn, like you just lost out on this, but you lost out on it now, but it's gonna come back later. Like you just gotta wait. You gotta wait. Just patient, because I lost out on big things at like 18, but I got it back, and like I got it back and even better. So you just gotta wait. That's really what I gotta tell myself. Just patience, bro.
Wait, what'd you
Patience.
lose out on?
Man, the first time, like, almost got close out working at overtime when I was like 18. I
Ah.
had a little thing going on,
Mm-hmm.
but it was nothing bad. I just like I was trying to get a new ID and everything, and like nothing was coming in time, so I can't get a work form done.
Mm-hmm.
So I met the dude that ended up taking that job, and
Mm-hmm.
he's a good dude. No hate to him. He's a great guy. I know him to this day.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, at 18, I met the dude that took the job. So I was like, damn, like that one really stung. Like, okay, okay. But now it's like 3 years later now, I always kept in contact, kept doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's like, I found a different path and I'm back here. So you just gotta be patient. You just gotta be patient.
No, man, that's great. First of all, your work ethic and like your like that is something that is super rare. Like people do not do that. I mean, I work in corporate America as well. So like the follow up, like people don't understand the importance of like following up and keeping your network strong and building uh I want to say like not bonds necessarily, but just like a network really of just being able to whenever because in all facets of like when you work in an industry, and this is for the listeners, like you never know when that person that you're talking to can be your boss or you work with them because
Yeah.
you know a lot of when it comes to working in any industry is a lot of the same people come in and out because there are moments where you get somebody gets a better opportunity and then they're like, oh, okay, and then they realize that opportunity isn't as great as what they one that they had there, so then they would come back. And a lot of that it comes in and out, especially when it comes to entertainment or anything that's to deal with like advertising or social media, stuff like that. It Once you're in, you're definitely part of like a weird brotherhood, but at the same time it's like make sure that you're cultivating these relationships because in the long run, that person that you're working with now can become the CEO of
Yeah,
overtime.
bro. I love everybody. Everybody in the
The
sneaker community, everybody in the overtime office. It's
Mhm.
amazing. I love
Yeah.
everybody. But I hate when people do like I can't stand the sneaker beef, bro. I don't get the sneaker beef in the community. I
Me
don't get it.
neither. Me
It's
neither,
just
man.
shoes. I stay out of all of it. I stay out of all of it.
Nah, it doesn't make sense to me because I think it's, but I also think is it's indeed it when you're talking about something that everybody's passionate about, right? And
Yeah,
we can even talk about like even with the top 5 or top 10 complex list that was dropped,
yeah, I
right?
saw that.
Yeah, like
People
people,
going back and forth and everything, just like
yeah,
guys, like it's just a list. Like everybody got an opinion to it, a list. That's what I was
yeah.
thinking of. The whole list. Like, come on, guys. Like they would probably just talk about like what's the most bought pair of shoes, throughout the
hmm
year.
Yeah, and to me, it's just like if you have this opinion and you're so passionate about it, then make your list and be like, "Yo, this is such and such list. Here's my list," and then we can
And you can
all,
use that for good content.
yeah,
Make
exactly.
your own list. That's what
Uh,
like we're about to do that too. Just make your own list. Like
Yeah,
simple.
but it's like I think people got to realize, this whole thing, we're all passionate about it and we all love it, and it's like, that's what my post on it was like, people are going to get upset because it's like you're picking your favorite child and everybody has the same
Yeah,
children, like
that's
so
funny.
starting beefs over it, or like even just simple beefs of, oh, I don't like your content, so just don't follow them, stop following them, just keep it moving, just it'll make your life easier. But there are always going to be negative people in any circle, in any passion, and those are the
Yeah.
people that we should probably ignore the most, in my opinion.
I love the people at SneakerCon,
Mm.
everything. Yo, they're such great people. I be taking pictures with the kids and things and everybody. It'd be fun. It'd be cool. I love everybody there.
No, yeah, yo, Zion, thanks for jumping on, man. This has been a hell of a time. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about you, and for everybody out there, what we say each week: wear your kicks. Peace.